Once upon a time, in the quaint village of Avellino, there lived a kind-hearted woodcarver named Geppetto. Despite being a humble man, Geppetto was renowned for his exceptional skill in crafting wooden toys and figurines. His tiny workshop was filled with all sorts of whimsical creations that brought joy to the children of the village. One winter's day, as Geppetto sat by the fireplace, he felt a surge of inspiration. He decided to create a puppet unlike any other he had made before. Using a special piece of enchanted wood he had acquired, Geppetto carved the puppet with great love and care. To his amazement, the puppet seemed to have a life of its own, moving and dancing in his hands. "I shall call you Pinocchio," Geppetto said with a twinkle in his eye. "May you bring happiness and laughter to all who meet you." As Geppetto admired his creation, he wished for Pinocchio to be a real boy, yearning for the company of a child of his own. Little did he know that his wish was about to come true in a most unexpected way. That night, a magical fairy visited Geppetto's workshop. Touched by the woodcarver's pure heart and selfless love for Pinocchio, the fairy granted Geppetto's wish. "Pinocchio shall become a real boy, but only if he proves himself to be brave, truthful, and unselfish," the fairy proclaimed. Geppetto's heart soared with joy as the fairy sprinkled her magic over Pinocchio. The puppet came to life, blinking its eyes and stretching its wooden limbs. Geppetto embraced his newfound son with tears of happiness, and from that moment on, their lives were forever intertwined. As the days passed, Geppetto became both a loving father and a patient teacher to Pinocchio. He taught the young puppet about the world, right from wrong, and the importance of honesty. Pinocchio, however, was easily swayed by the temptations of the outside world. His curiosity and impulsiveness often led him into trouble. One fateful day, as Pinocchio ventured into town, he encountered a cunning and mischievous fox named Fellini and his sly companion, a cat named Nicoletta. They persuaded Pinocchio to join a traveling puppet show, promising him fame and fortune. Leaving Geppetto's guidance behind, Pinocchio followed Fellini and Nicoletta, unaware of their deceitful intentions. The puppet show turned out to be a trap, and Pinocchio found himself entangled in a web of lies and deception. He was forced to perform for cruel audiences and hand over the money he earned to Fellini and Nicoletta. Meanwhile, Geppetto was heartbroken when he discovered Pinocchio's disappearance. He searched far and wide, asking everyone in the village for help. The fairy, watching from afar, knew that Pinocchio needed to learn from his mistakes and find his way back to his father. In the midst of his struggles, Pinocchio encountered a wise and gentle cricket. The cricket, seeing the goodness in Pinocchio's heart, offered guidance and counsel. "Return to Geppetto, for he loves you and wishes only for your happiness," the cricket advised. Overwhelmed with remorse, Pinocchio realized the gravity of his actions. He mustered the courage to escape from Fellini and Nicoletta's clutches and began his journey back to Geppetto. On his way home, Pinocchio encountered many trials and temptations, but he remembered the lessons his father had taught him. He resisted temptation, helped those in need, and showed acts of kindness. With each act of selflessness, the enchanted wood within him began to transform, making him more and more human. When Pinocchio finally reached Geppetto's doorstep, his heart swelled with love and regret. He embraced his father tightly and tearfully apologized for his mistakes. Geppetto, overjoyed to see his son return, forgave Pinocchio with open arms. "I am proud of you, my brave and truthful boy," he said, tears of happiness streaming down his cheeks. "You have learned the value of goodness, and that is worth more than any riches in the world." As the years passed, Pinocchio grew into a kind, honest, and caring young man, thanks to Geppetto's unwavering love and guidance. The fairy, pleased with his transformation, granted Pinocchio's deepest wish, to become a real boy, just as Geppetto had wished for him. And so, Geppetto and Pinocchio lived happily ever after, side by side, as a loving father and a real boy. Their story became a timeless tale of the power of love, the importance of truth, and the magic that lies within the hearts of those who believe.